and welcome to the CDO Magazine interview series. I am Kellie de Leon with Treasure Data, and we are partnering with CDO Magazine, MIT CDO IQ, and the International Society of Chief Data Officers in a series of interviews. Today, I have the pleasure of speaking with Samantha Lopez, Consulting Director at Artefact. Welcome.
Hi, welcome. Thank you for having me.
Digital transformation has been an ongoing process, in organizations for many years, for many brands. Obviously, a lot of that got accelerated in ways because of the pandemic, but, digital transformation is perhaps nothing new. But there's so many obstacles and roadblocks that companies can encounter along the way. And I'm sure that you observe many of those and help your clients navigate some of those obstacles and opportunities in your consulting work. I'm wondering if you can just talk about what are some of the most common challenges that you see companies facing today in terms of navigating digital transformation and really making sure they're achieving that value that they're trying to get out of that transformation.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the first thing is the quality of data, understanding what the quality is, optimizing that. Then you're looking at the consistency of it. Are different platforms speaking different language? Are different tools looking at different things? And so first we go in and we evaluate what is your quality, what is your consistency, what do we need to do from where you are to get to where we need to be, and providing them a roadmap of how they can kind of get there. And then once you're able to get your data in order in terms of the actual quality and the consistency across it, it's then how do you get brand teams to adopt it, business leaders to adopt it. It's not just the data folks who need to be involved. It's how do you get the business folks to be able to utilize that data in an easy way to digest, an easy interface for them to pull, to make it seamless to enact the changes that they're seeing in the data. And then valorize it, measure it, make sure you're seeing the performance of this digital transformation. It is an uplift in terms of resources and cost. And so a lot of times people will implement this big thing and then they don't know what to do next. And it's having this full roadmap of everything from the strategy, the implementation, and then actually how are we going to pilot this out? Who are going to be the people in the organization who are going to evangelize this transformation, this technology, and then be able to really show some quick wins and the roadmap of how you can continue to advance and evolve it. So I think, it covers the spectrum from understanding the quality, evolving that, to actually implementing and making sure that it's successful and easily accessible to the teams that need to use it.
Mm-hmm. I think that strategic lens of the transformation roadmap is obviously so critical. And what you pointed to also about kind of understanding the needs and the objectives of maybe data and IT teams and what they're really focused on and trying to achieve, and maybe the technologies that they're focused on wanting to implement along that digital transformation roadmap, but also then thinking about your business users, in marketing and customer service, all of those other areas of the business that are also kind of existing within that digital transformation roadmap, and what are the tools and technologies that are available to them, or where should they plug into, some of the opportunities across this whole digital transformation landscape. I'm curious if you kind of have a perspective to share on, obviously digital transformation, it's like such a giant word. It could encompass so many different kinds of technologies and so many different initiatives across a business. But I'm wondering if you have just, anything to share, obviously from your lens, about the maybe the types of technologies that companies should prioritize in their digital transformation, or even think about maybe should be earlier on or earlier stages in the roadmap so that they can continue to build on that, into the future.
Yeah, absolutely. So, our company actually started in helping brands implement DMPs back in the day. And so as DMPs have kind of come and gone, now are really one of our biggest focuses is on CDPs. I think that is a key place for brands to start, whether they already have a CDP or they don't have a CDP. I think first and foremost is when we're talking about your data strategy, it's how are we organizing your customer data? How is it living? How are we unifying this view of your customer and then allowing you to really action on it? And so a lot of the work we do is helping brands strategize on what are their business needs so we can help them complement it with what is the technology that is right for them. We do a lot of work with your company Treasure Data because we see the value in brands needing this unified view of their customer that is going to allow them to kind of drive their segmentation, drive their marketing, and then not just marketing, but their audience, their customer service. Is someone likely to churn? So we're going to pull in that data and allow that to target messages to them. So kind of bringing in all of these pieces of the puzzle is really key. So I think starting a lot of our work is starting with CDPs or how they're understanding who their customer base is. How are they segmenting it out, whether it's building an audience engine on top of this data. And then, the different technologies that kind of further it out, whether it's an ESP or whatever it may be. And overall, we're helping brands across the entire marketing stack. But I think the number one thing is let's get your customer data in order and let's make sure that you're able to really understand and action off of it.
Mm-hmm. And I think, one thing that you said is getting that in place earlier in the process because it's such a foundational piece. That to me is a critical piece that stands out. We get customers kind of asking all the time, where should a CDP fit in our 3 or 5 year roadmap? Is it one of the earlier things we should do or the later things we should do? But I think you were kind of alluding to it can be so foundational to so many other things. There's so many other pieces of either the strategy or other pieces of technology that you might ultimately want to end up looping in there, both as it relates to marketing users, but also across the business that, I might be biased a little bit, but I definitely have the point of view that thinking about getting your customer data in order and having that unified platform should be seen as one of the critical foundational elements that data leaders and IT leaders are also seeing, not just as a marketing thing that we should do later because it's only for those marketers over there, but that really getting that foundation, set early on, hopefully with a provider that has a lot of the, flexibility to scale and change over time as other pieces of technology might need to come in and out with integration. That if you can get that set early on, it really actually can help you build on and accelerate value from other areas of digital transformation that you're trying to do.
Yeah. And, even when we're doing implementation projects of a CDP, it's actually really powerful because we spend this time doing workshops with the clients, with the business leaders, with the technical leaders, those who own the different data sources. And so not only does it allow us to see how that is going to impact what is ingested in the CDP, how it's activated on, but it allows us to help them evaluate what are they actually looking at in these data sources? Is it relevant? Do you know what this other team is looking at? And have these combined conversations that open up dialogue for them internally on how they're going to do other things in their organization. So by implementing a CDP as a technology and, you can implement a technology pretty easily, but I think it's the business conversations that you have in parallel with implementing the technology that allow the brand to really have a deeper understanding of, okay, now we have more, we're doing a strategy assessment, not because we need to implement a technology, it's because how's that technology going to further serve our business? And I think by marrying all of that together, you're able to then not only maximize the value of the technology you've just implemented, but now have a strategic roadmap again of what are we going to do to then continue to further our business and take these learnings that we've had from this evaluation.
Yeah, exactly. And that it's, even just getting everybody on the same page so that if someone asks someone in finance, how many customers do we have? And they ask someone in marketing, how many customers do we have? That's the same answer. Like even that is a great place to start in terms of making sure that data can then feed business strategy for sure.
Yeah. And then, it's the purpose is time, money, efficiency. And so by saving an analyst from running through 2-3 different teams and running all these reports, and you have it easily available, they can focus on actually garnering more value from the data versus just kind of like running around and having to be this middleman of collecting and gathering information.
Yeah, I think that's such a great point, Samantha, in terms of the business value for data leaders and data analysts and the folks that are maybe kind of more behind the scenes, is just the amount of operational efficiency that can come from getting all of this data in order, so that then your data scientist time and data analyst time is spent really delivering business value rather than trying to connect the dots and create reports from places that are all over the place. We see so many use cases and drivers of use of CDP that are really focused on reporting and analytics, because they can drive such, obviously they drive operational insights and time savings for folks to do other stuff that's of value to the business. And then, obviously the insights and opportunities that can come out of having all of that data is, a multiplier for sure.
Yeah, like let's get to the customer lifetime value. Let's get to the propensity modeling. Let's do more advanced analytics versus spending more time on your more basic analytics, which a tool can really help with some of that uplift.
Yeah, love it. Well, thank you so much, Samantha, for joining me today. This has been a really fun and insightful conversation. So thank you for sharing all of your insights and your perspectives. So I just want to say thank you for spending your time, and to say that the folks listening can also visit cdomagazine.tech for additional interviews.
Thank you so much, Kelly.